think it's a 2, or a little bit before 2 maybe. Yeah, it's a little bit before 2. That's not a lot. But it's enough to make us stay another hour. We have to stay till 4. Questions on the homework?
Everyone said
Well, yeah, you had a study plan to work out of, and if you did finish,
what happened?
then you guys are good? Alright, so, yeah, no problem. And actually, you know what, we can just make that one up if you want. Make it a little bit more tough, so you can see like the more complicated examples. Alright, so I'm going to make these up. So let's go with something like f of x is, let's go 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. And let's make g of x, let's go x plus 4, okay? Close the laptops, please. You're taking notes right now.
Wait, are we on the same thing?
Well, I'm going to do a real quick example on the f of g, the composition of functions. Okay. And then I'll jump into the next lesson, which is division of polynomials. Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm going to trust you guys. You can turn those around. I know you're not going to do it just to annoy me, right? So you can turn them around. Because squirrel. I see lights and I'm going to...
I just charged my phone.
I can like do that.
Why don't you just use your charger, sir?
Because I lost my box. I don't want your box. It just works
Then
better.
you can close your laptop.
I'm gonna lose it though, that's what I'm saying. I lose all my boxes. I lose everything. I'm serious, guys. I lose literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm losing my patience with talking to you. Oh, that was another good one.
That was hurtful. That was alright.
Yeah, it was all right. Okay. So let's start with the composition f of g. Okay. So what we're saying with f of g is that f is the main function, and what I'm gonna do is plug in g into it. Okay. Another notation you might see for this is f of g, and of course there's usually you see an x out there. It just means that it's f of g of x, so like that. So I'm going to take the g function, put it into the f function. So I'm going to start with the f, which is this. That would be 3x squared. Actually, I should put a little bit more space in there. 3x squared plus 2 times x plus 5. So does that part make sense there? Good. So what goes into this function? What? The g function. The g function happens to be x plus 4. So what I'm going to put in here is x plus 4 and x plus 4. At this point, just a matter of cleaning it up. Okay, so I have to use my binomial expansion and then my distributive property, combine my like terms, and I'm good to go. Okay. You okay from there? Okay, just finish it.
Setting it up.
Yeah, setting it up is a tougher part. If I wanted to do, maybe not this part, like f of g, maybe I want to do g of f. Okay, so if I wanted to do g of f. Okay, in this case, the main function happens to be g. So I would have to go g plus 4. And what I'm going to write inside of that is that f function, which is 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. And obviously that's going to turn out to be kind of simple because all I need to do is combine the 5 and the 4, and I'd be done with that. Okay? Now, sometimes you get some scenarios where they're not really nice. Because I could even calculate, Alberto, f of f if I wanted to, or if they asked me to. Okay? All that means is I'm going to take the f function and plug the f back into it. It's called inception. So I would have to go, I know, 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. And what goes into the f function? The f function again. So I would have to throw in 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. Good morning. 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. Clean that up, and there's f of x.
Sorry, would you have 12 graphing calculators?
I gave all my graphing calculators to Roy.
Okay.
He picks them up from Roswell next if you want.
Roswell? Okay.
Just say, I need them for
Okay.
testing.
Yeah, SAT.
We'll get them back to you. Okay?
Alright.
Don't ask us about them. Because they use them a lot.
Okay.
They're not going to give them up.
Very good. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And I just said that on the recording. Hello, everybody. Does that make sense? A little bit more story?
Yeah.
Good. Any other questions you guys want me to answer? All right, cool beans. Let's get started because good stuff. This is one of my favorite ones.
What was the thing that you were supposed to tell us today?
Oh, yeah.
Happy Wednesday.
No, he did that pattern yesterday.
It was,
Oh, we didn't do it yesterday?
Yeah, we did.
You didn't tell us.
I didn't. I did.
I'll let you figure it out.
No, and then
No,
I did
you
it
did
right
it.
after that.
Because RJ started figuring it out and then we just went over it.
And then we just did it.
Never mind.
If you want to go back and look at it, I recorded 6th Tower, which was pretty cool. And
Did they guess it?
yeah, they started guessing it, so then they just started, and then we started playing with it. We started doing fun stuff. They were actually doing math. I was excited.
Why didn't you do that with us?
Because it didn't go that way. It just depends on. I know, I feel bad. Alright, so let's get started with this, chapter 5. And chapter 5 is dividing polynomials. And there's only 3 objectives, okay? First objective, divide a polynomial by a monomial. Okay, so a polynomial divided by a monomial, really simple thing to do. We're not going to have to go into long division for that. I think we'll be okay there. Second thing is to divide a polynomial by a polynomial of 2 or more terms. And then finally, we're going to divide a polynomial. We're going to divide polynomial functions. Okay. So let's get started with objective 1. Divide a polynomial by a monomial. Something like this. Okay. What you're really looking at is 3 fractions that were put together because they had a common denominator. Do you guys remember when you used to do like 1/3 plus 1/3? How much is that? It's 2/3, right? But couldn't I also just say, oh, that's just 1 plus 1/3? Does everyone understand that? That's what's going on over there. Except because the terms are not like terms, they can't get combined into one number. Here they're just integers, so I can say, oh, 1 and 1 makes 2. Does that make sense to everybody? So here, they can't combine them, so they keep them separate, kind of like I did over there. So what they're really looking at is 10x to the second over 5 minus 25x over 5 plus 35 over 5. That's what's really going on. So all you really have to do is divide every one of these terms in the numerator by 5. So I would end up with, what's 10 divided by 5? Yeah, so 2x squared minus 5x plus 7, and there it is.
Oh, that's easy. So you
Okay.
just divide it.
Yep, just divide. Now, I do have to caution you, because a lot of people will just do the first one and not the second one. Okay? I don't know why.
Wait, what?
People will divide the 10x by 5, but not the rest of it.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I've seen this happen a lot. Even people going, yeah, I got that, that was easy. Okay, just like I see a lot of people with the distributive property, they'll only distribute to the first term, but not the second one. I think you guys have seen that, right, yourselves? Your friend's like, no, you're not doing it to the second one. Same idea here. They're dividing the first one, but you won't divide the rest of it. Please don't fall into that trap. Okay? Easy enough? Anybody need to see another example of that one? Okay, I love the monomial ones. So easy. Actually, they're all pretty easy if you know how to divide. Let's continue. Okay, same idea here, okay? 4 divided by 4, how much is 4 divided by 4? 1. And what's x to the 4th over x to the 3rd? Remember, you subtract those, right? So you just get x. Here you're going to get negative 7 divided by 4. Well, that's negative 7/4. I was going to erase the 1, but I don't need to. And of course, x to the 3rd over x to the 3rd is just 1. And then at the end, I'm going to get a positive 3 over x. Questions on the last one? We're good? That's it. I still want to erase this one for some reason. Like you wanted to. Is the result a polynomial?
Yes.
Yes, no. Because you can't have a variable in the denominator. And the last term has a variable in the denominator. You see that? You can't, remember, I think it's like 3 rules. You can't have negative exponents, which turns out that this is a negative exponent, isn't it? If I were to fix this, which is equivalent to having a variable in the denominator. Okay? All right, questions on this one? We're good? We're hanging in there? Raina, thumbs up? Yeah? Everybody give me a thumbs up if you got it. All right, cool. Moving on. Same idea? You try this one.
Use it.
No.
Is it getting hot over there, Victor? Is it getting hot now? Or is the fresh still coming in? Neutral? That warning feels amazing, doesn't it? No? I like it. I like it a lot. Where's that from?
No, no, no.
I like it a lot.
My dad says that.
Was it Jim Carrey? Ah! Come back. Where'd you go? And let me end this. I'm gonna call on one of you guys to give me your answer. I'm gonna use my dojo. I haven't used this in a while. Get used to it. Franco, look at your little. He looks like the one from the King Julian servant. What's his name?
Madagascar.
From Madagascar.
Yeah, his name is King Julian. I think. No, it's not. That's the
No,
monkey.
that's the main guy. The little servant. Huh? Yeah, that's what he looks like. That's what he reminds me of. All right, sounds like we're done. Let's pick somebody. Do it, Dojo. Jordan.
What?
You're still figuring it out?
Next.
I tried to block it out. But
So wait, if it's like, so for 6a squared b, so since like there, you can cancel out the b, would it just be like 6 over a, not 6a over a?
right, because the ones that are left over on the bottom, right?
Yeah. So it'd just be 6 over a, 9 over a. Oh, I feel like
Not 9 over A, 9 over
9 over b.
B.
She said
Oh, I'm sorry, I heard A. Oh man,
like one time I was actually got it.
I'm losing my memory and my hearing. I wish I would listen to this weight. All right, Jordan.
So 6 over A minus 9 over B plus 4.
Okay.
Ew. What are you doing?
Well, this 9 looked like an A, so I'm gonna do this. Plus what? Everyone agree with that?
I got it.
Good job.
Wait, I didn't see it.
Wait, what are we doing now?
You remember that click, Josh? They haunted you, didn't it? It's coming back.
You could get a bad one too.
Huh?
Because you could get like a thumbs down or something too. Can't you?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, where's Alberto?
6 over A.
Oh, I don't have them? I'm gonna have to import them
Right
real
there.
quick. See here. Settings. Edit class. Skills, needs work.
How's the first?
Here's the first one.
Import.
Okay,
There they are. They don't put them in automatically no more.
I was in there though.
Oh yeah, I had you, but there was no bad stuff. Now there is.
I don't even say anything in here.
I'm just kidding. I took it off.
It's hurtful.
I thought you knew how to take a joke.
doesn't.
I can see that now. That makes me sad.
It's an everyday thing. It's like you can't say.
You have to know. You have to know this, and I think Josh and Jacob will tell you. I pick on the people I like the most.
It's hard to tell when you're joking though.
Huh?
honestly.
Yeah, it's very true.
Okay, when am I not joking?
They're-
Like if I'm mad,
I don't
you'll see. Yeah.
I just don't say anything back because I don't want to like hurt you in any way. So I take it like a man. And I wear it. You're welcome.
I was gonna say something to that, but I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna, because this thing's still recorded. So
Bad
let's
word choice.
finish this up.
He like sat there for a minute and then
All right, cool. Here we go from the current slide. So nice job, Jordan. Now it's gonna start to get more interesting. Divide a polynomial by a polynomial of 2 or more terms. So now we have something like this. Now we have something like this. Uy, uy, el cucuy. So let's do this. Let me copy this over. I'm gonna copy it over. Here it is. Okay. I'm gonna close that because the sunlight's coming in. It's blinding me. I think it's gonna be time to close this. What are these called? Blinds also? Oh, I get it. Is it blinding? No. Okay, cool. You guys ready?
I'm like, go for it.
Okay. So, once you start to get into the binomial part, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to divide the old school way. Right? You guys remember the idea? If you tip it over, it's like the top one ends up on the inside of the division? So, no? That's how I remember. But we're going to divide k plus 6 into 2k squared plus 17k plus 30. Okay?
I don't like it that way.
Why do you have to do it like that?
I don't like it that way.
Because it's division.
But like,
Wait, I
why?
don't like it that way.
Why?
Oh my gosh.
Do you not remember how to divide? Can we do that real quick just to remind everybody? Let's go 23. Let's go something smaller, like what, 7? 7 divided into what?
49.
49?
Okay, I
Super
don't.
easy.
Let's go bigger number.
109.
109?
Do you not know how to divide?
Okay.
Dude, I don't
Like a normal division where you learn in
7 goes
elementary?
into 10.
like that. No, not like
7 goes into 10 2 times.
That's elementary.
2 times 7 is 14.
Oh, hey.
Subtract that, you're going to get what, negative 4. Bring down the 9. 7 goes into 49, negative 7 times.
No, what are you doing?
It's supposed to be one. It's not zero.
I was gonna see how many people I convinced, because it was getting there, right? It was like, oh, it goes in there evenly. I got a remainder of 0. No? No, doesn't work that way? Oh, all right. Okay. So, what was it, 7 to 109?
No, I
Yeah.
know how to do this. I'm talking about this way. The Jesus says-
You do know how to do this way?
No, I know how to do
Who does not know how to do this way? So then why are we complaining about this?
Because
That's
that's a lot.
Because it's the same?
No.
I'm mad because it's the same thing. I wanted to learn something new. Why? We already know how to do this. Here, watch this. Okay? Now, remember, the other one was just one number, right?
Yeah.
So when we're going to divide, we're going to start... Hold on, I think you guys have had experience with this, and it was not a good experience.
Pretty much right.
Okay, so stop. I'm not that teacher. Okay, I think I've proven that by now. We're going to start by dividing by the first one. When we divide, we always divide by the... That's why you don't remember. That's why you don't like it. You're having conversations where you're supposed to be learning it. When you divide, you're going to divide by the first term of that outside one only. Thanks. Okay? So, let's start here. What is 2k squared? What is 2k squared divided by k? It's 2k. Now, where are the k's at? Right here. See it? I'm going to write it right above 2k. You guys remember when we talked about place value and all that good stuff? Okay, I want to make sure I keep that rule in place. So is everyone good with the first part? That was difficult. The next part I did was to multiply, right? Because I had to get the number that goes under and then I subtract it. Okay, so I'm going to multiply, but when I multiply, I'm going to multiply the whole thing that's outside. So what's 2k times k? It's 2k squared. And then 2k times the 6? Well, that's just a 12k, isn't it? What did we do with this number here? We subtracted it, didn't we? We changed the sign. You guys remember that idea? You change the sign. Well, the way you change the sign is you subtract. So what is 2k squared minus 2k squared? 0. What is 17k? What is 17k minus 12k? 5k. So 5k. And then what we did is we brought down the next number, right? Well, I want you to bring down everything else. It's going to be easier for us to just bring everything else that's left on that side. So now I have this. Okay, at this point, wash, rinse, repeat. We've gone through the whole process already. All we got to do is keep going until we're done, and we end up with a remainder. So what is 5k divided by k? 5 plus 5. What's 5 times k? 5k. What's 5 times 6? 30. What do we do with this value? We subtract it. What's 5k minus 5k? 30 minus 30? That means we have no remainder. There's our quotient at the top.
What happens if there is a remainder?
Then if we do exactly what we did before. I'll wait for everybody to write this down, and I'll tell you about remainders, okay? So please don't forget that, because you're going to want to know too.
I like it.
It's just division. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about my math.
Nickname.
Just what I thought there was hope.
Or maybe I just don't know.
I don't know, but you make me think that it's about, like, I like the math.
Oh,
and
I
then
get this.
Oh, good.
Yeah, can you do another one?
I can.
But without the remainder first. And then you can do it.
Well, remainders aren't even tough. Let me take you back to here real quick, okay? Is everyone done writing this down? Someone still need it? I'm asking the wrong questions. How did this go? 7 goes in there one time. 1 times 7 is 7. We subtract. That gives us 3. And then we bring down the next number. 7 goes into 39 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. We subtract. We have 4. That's my remainder, right? What did we do at this point? Well, if we didn't do decimal. what would you do at this point? You end up with a fraction, right? And what would it be? It would be the remainder. Same thing with the other ones.
Oh.
Okay, so this would be 7 over, just kidding. This would be 4 over 7. If we had a remainder here, let's say the remainder ended up being like 3 or something. Just pretending. Then we would say plus 3 over, okay, plus 6.
Don't you have to put like the remainder sign?
No. No, you only did that. That was another way of doing it. So I could say this, or I can say 15R4. It's 2 different ways. Actually, there's 3 different ways. So this was one way that I can express this. Or I can be more accurate about this. Instead of saying R4, I would go 4/7, or I will add the decimal and keep going until I end up with 0 in the denominator, right? Okay. I want to try something though. What happened? Nothing, Papa? I'm your daddy now? Let's go 182. 7 into 18 is 3. Hold on. I want to try something. Someone told me that you couldn't mess this up. You'd find a way.
That's fine.
You'd find a way. 18 minus 21 is negative what, 3? Right?
Yeah.
You'd have to bring down the 2. 7 goes in 32. How many times?
4.
Is it 4? 4, you would get 28. And what's negative 32 minus... I'm just humor me. What is that difference? They're both negative, so that's going to be what, 60? 7 goes into 60 how many times? 8. 8 times 7 is 56. That's what, 4? I guess that's not working. I'm gonna have to look at that. Because someone told me you couldn't mess it up even if you overshot it. So I'll take a look at the example. Alright, let's move on. Because we got more fish to fry.
Wait, we didn't go over the. We want another example.
Yeah, we're gonna grab one.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. So let me copy this. You guys want to try this one on your own first? Here. Try this one on your own. Yeah? Well, k plus 6 is a number. We don't know what that number is until we find k. Oh, wait a minute. Did I keep putting x's there? Is that what you're telling me? What happened here?
Didn't you do 6 and a 3?
Only when you multiply. Only when you multiply. And yeah, this wasn't there. That's from the hypothetical. Here we go. I'll call on somebody to do it. Yep.
Do you go based off of X or the...
You only divide the first ones, remember? When you divide, it's only the first one. When you multiply, it's going to be everything. Good.
would you put it on top of this one?
Where's the x squared at? Oh, then you want to add a spot. I didn't notice that. Guys, if they're, yeah. Sorry. I swear to God, I thought I saw it too there. So, 4x squared, what should be between these two? They're an x squared, right? So go ahead and insert a 0x squared. Insert a 0x squared. Sorry about that. I even wrote it as a 3 and I still saw it too. Plus 3x minus 8. Because remember, you want to make sure you have every single place value, so thank you. Thanks for saying something. No, you're good. You can't be wrong.
How can we not be wrong?
Because you're just learning it. What? You're not wrong, you make mistakes.
So what's supposed to be on this test?
Oh, wait, what?
No, there's no test writing.
You said there was a test on
Hey, don't
Wait,
push it. Don't be like that.
That means I just taught you this,
Yeah.
and to give you a review tomorrow to test you on Friday doesn't seem fair, so I need you to have a recent day. So we'll go over it tomorrow. Make sure that we answer that and then see how you guys are doing, because division is pretty tough. I'm not in a hurry. If it doesn't happen,
And then you multiply it.
That's not my variable.
So would you put for oh, we multiply it, huh? Oh, I get it. Okay, so 4x.
4x.
Times.
What just happened?
So it would be 4x.
Wait, are we doing 4?
How would it be divided? Oh, no, that's fine.
There's-
And then you multiply. Then you multiply 4x plus 8x squared, right? And subtract 8x plus 8. 8x squared. No, it's 8. How? Squared. Oh yeah, I subtracted. Then there's 2a plus 8x minus 8. Right? It's minus 3x. Oh, it is plus. Oh yeah, it's plus. That's right. And then what?
Alright.
Now we have this.
Well, you're not that hard. 4x. You put it in a, so it'd be 3x. Divided by 3. Divided by 3x. Oh, 3x divided by x.
3x divided by x.
Yeah. Then it'd be 3.
So 3 and
Wait,
put that on
what
top.
about the a?
Yeah, you put it on top.
Wait, okay. This is confusing.
You just said it was hard. You know it's hard.
No, I'm saying it takes time to go, but it's just division, right? So
Don't say it's just division.
it is just division. That should be a negative 8x.
You're crazy.
A negative. How is it negative x?
I told you.
Because the whole thing is changing. Man.
Yeah.
The whole thing has to be subtracted.
Oh.
Because you're changing the sign of the whole value. Not just the number. Okay? So that
So what
just
is it?
becomes negative 6 squared.
Ow! Plus 3x.
Yeah, do it. And then you
And then you divide 8.
the negative 8x squared by x.
I'm so confused. Okay, because what you just said. How would it be negative?
Well, you're just putting negative there, but it's a negative to the whole thing.
Oh, okay,
So then
All the
4
time.
minus that and 0 minus that, well, that makes it negative.
squared and then plus
Plus 3x
3x.
minus 8.
Okay.
And then you start over again.
Wait, that's a negative.
I
Wait, I have a remainder of 18.
What? Divide again. Just divide it by that.
So what? So 8x. No, negative 8x. So negative 8x squared.
Multiply those will be.
Divided by x. Okay, so negative 8x squared. What do I do with the 2?
Multiply. But negative x as well.
Wait, so what are we next?
Multiply this by the first one. Multiply the second one.
Negative 8x
Negative 16.
squared negative.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Negative 16x minus 8.
Oh,
0.
3 minus 9.
I mean,
Negative 13.
Should be negative 13x minus 8. No, because you already did the 8. You brought it down. That's 0. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
well, that's 40 minus 2.
6 less. Yeah. Negative 16.
so it's plus 30.
Or the Chinese sign change.
No, negative 30. Oh, we changed signs?
That's how we're doing this.
So it'd be
Do you choose them? Read it up again. Let's try this again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It'll be real.
That should be,
So the whole thing times
13 minus.
so it's
no, you changed the signs.
negative 13 x, and then you do negative 13 x.
Oh, because the negative was 8?
Yeah.
So then it's going to become 40.
13 times negative 13.
What do I do with this?
So you go minus 46. So
Negative 26.
that'll work. That'll work.
Oh, so you like that?
Plus.
So those count
Wait,
it.
Just make a fraction.
Oh, yeah.
But add them or do I? Does it change it? Oh, I don't know. Negative 6.
Oh.
Does the sign change? Negative 42. So that would change.
Yeah.
So would it be negative 42 or negative? Yeah?
But you're good at this because that's
You don't bring it. You don't bring it down.
You did.
Oh.
So this would be at adding into it.
Okay, let's go through this real quick.
oh, no, she.
I told him I did it. Did I not tell you?
I don't know how to finish that.
Me and Layla were out of
Well, it's going to be negative, right? So go minus. We'll catch it up right now. Okay.
I was like,
Thank you. Thank you. Please don't write what I'm about to do down. Please watch me do it. When I'm done, I'll let you see what's there. You can fix whatever you need to fix, and you can copy down what you need to copy. But you need to follow through what I'm working on, okay? When you start dividing, you only divide the first ones. So this divided by this. What is 4x cubed divided by x? 4x squared. Needs to go here. When you multiply by both. So that's going to give me a 4x cubed. And then 4x times a 2 will give me an 8x squared. Make sure that you're changing the sign to the whole value. Okay? And the way to check is that this always becomes 0, doesn't it? The next part will give me a negative 8x squared. At this point, all I'm doing is bringing down the rest of the polynomial. That's a positive 3x minus 8. Oh. And I divide again. I divide again. I take the first one, divided by the first one. So what's negative 8x squared divided by x? Negative 8x. So negative 8x. And then I'm going to multiply by the 2. So I should only really get 2 under that. Okay? So negative 8x times x, negative 8x squared. Negative 8 times 2 is a negative 16x. Make sure you change the sign to the whole value. So negative 8x squared minus the negative 8x squared is 0. And then I'm going to have 19x. 19x. Bring down the negative 8. And then I do it again.
Isn't that a positive?
A positive what?
3x.
It is.
And then that's a negative 16x.
But I changed the sign, remember? What's a negative times a negative? We're good? Alright, I mean,
That's what I was like, change the sign.
all the math rules still apply. I mean, I'm not making things up here. It's just old school division, old school subtraction. Alright? Hold on, let me finish it. Okay? Divide the first one by the first one. So what's 19x divided by x? It's 19, positive 19, right? Oh my gosh. 19 times x is 19x. And then 19 times 2 is 38. Positive 38. I'm going to change the sign. No way.
Hurry up and finish it.
Go.
Negative 46, right? That's my remainder? So negative 46 over x plus 2.
I gotta take a picture.
It's also recorded. Go back on YouTube and check it out. Homework will be ready probably by 4th hour when the calendar reminds me again.
Tomorrow.